pew, 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 pew. Oh my gosh. Solo Sikoa is a better Jey Uso than Jey Uso is. This is your warning shot. Bow. Whoa, everybody all right? Everybody all right? The dude is hilarious. And we got Jimbo Slice saying in today's hot take, Solo has been attached to the Bloodline related stories for nearly 4 years. 4 years, all in caps. Right when he's finally free to have some new feuds, they drag him back in. Yes, Solo Sikoa lost last night, and he's being delivered to Roman Reigns next week. But did you notice that? Delivered. Not he has to rejoin the Bloodline. So what I'm thinking, and this is not my idea, I'm actually stealing this from Wrestle Talk. What I'm thinking that Wrestle Talk is thinking is the fact that they are going to bring Solo in front of Roman, and then Roman will ask him to acknowledge me, and Solo will say, nope. The key is they kept hammering in the word delivered. And in fact, what Jacob was supposed to do was go get Solo. He was just supposed to bring Solo to Roman, and he could never do it. So Jey won, and he's bringing Solo before Roman. So there is hope that he's not necessarily rejoining. The thing that makes me think that he is going to rejoin is the fact that, you know, War Games is right around the corner, and they probably want Solo as the 5th man. STR Game Take says, I never thought I'd root for Solo as hard as I did tonight. Dang. Yeah, I know. I was like, come on, Solo, you got this. I need Solo. You know, I need him just pew, pew, pewing all over the roster over on SmackDown. We finally got a breakout Samoan that doesn't have to have anything to do with the Bloodline. Well, I guess Jacob also was one, but they brought him into the Bloodline. Just have Solo over there. Just have Solo over there. Andre Poe Lizzie says the only way this makes sense is if Jacob reunites with Solo next Monday and they beat the heck out of Roman and the Usos. Oh, there you go. There's a possible solution. Solo threw the match so he could get in the ear of Jacob Fatu. And wow, man, how cool would it be to get an I love you Solo from Jacob Fatu? I would love that. So that's a possibility, but I don't think so. I think Jacob Fatu has fully drank the Kool-Aid right now, and I don't think we're turning him that soon. Moses Fry says, get Solo out of the Bloodline vortex, man. He was finally getting entertaining. I know there's been glimpses of Solo Sikoa over the last 2 years. You know, I got tickets, I got a t-shirt, eat. He's been, like, there's been glimpses, but now that he's a babyface, he could just go all in on it all the time. I mean, come on, bow, and then he ducks. That's hilarious. Cassie Bryan says, if Solo breaks character to become another lackey, I'm done. Wake me up when Roman retires. Whew. Yeah, if literally Solo goes back to being a stoic bodyguard or something, that would be so bad. That would be horrible. That would actually be worse than taming Jacob Fatu. Like, and that's pretty bad. Jacob was so interesting coming out of WrestleMania that now he just stands there. He just stands there and says, I can't touch you because Roman said so. Yeah, Jacob has definitely lost a lot of his appeal. And now that we see what Solo can do, to just go back to the silent enforcer, God. It's OTW says, Solo just Roman's coffee boy now, huh? Finally, they let the guy spread his wings, and it's like, clip, back to the Bloodline. Is he going to be getting Roman coffee? Like he said last week, Roman literally being like, Solo should be getting me coffee. Please don't do that. And Arrow Noir says, this is a long con by Solo and LA Knight to infiltrate the Bloodline, culminating with Solo helping LA Knight, win the title. That's why he didn't help Solo in the match. You know, that would actually be very entertaining. Could you imagine? Solo has to rejoin. They have Roman versus LA Knight, and then Roman says, help me, Solo. Solo he's about to give the thumb to LA Knight, and then he turns and does it to Roman Reigns. LA Knight gets the pin. That would be freaking huge. You would create a megastar in LA Knight and Solo Sikoa right there. Then Roman can get revenge on Solo. Like, Boy, howdy, that would be amazing. Not gonna happen, though. Never, ever do I see that happening. At best, Solo Sikoa is just gonna say no, he'll get beat down and go back to SmackDown. At worst, he's getting coffee for the OTC and the World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns. I wish Solo would cost him the title. But on the plus side, if you want to win this title on my shoulder, you can. All you got to do is comment below. I'm giving away this title right here at 30,000 subscribers on my quest to quit my day job. So, comment and subscribe and you can win. It's not a toy. It's a replica, and it can be yours. All right, more hot take. KL973, Oba is being pushed way too much, way too soon. He has nowhere to go but down, and he's 1 year on the main roster. I don't agree with this. I understand that perspective, but I think they have trained us to feel that a wrestler has to be on the main roster for 10 years in order to get an actual push. Like Braun Breaker, like they still treated the guy like a rookie when he got onto the main roster, but he's been in NXT for like 3 or 4 years. He's been on WWE TV for like 5-6 years now. And to be quite honest with you, I feel he's worse off now than he was when he actually got on the main roster. So I'm totally cool with pushing someone super hard right away. Now, if I would have had my choice, I probably would have saved Brock Lesnar to next year's WrestleMania, or it would have been a one and done, and they really need to stop doing the squash matches. Isn't it crazy that Oba Femi's best main roster match has been against Jey Uso? You know? Like, they just gotta let the guy actually wrestle more. On top of that, why is LA Knight and a luchador who wins a tournament, why are they ahead of Oba Femi? He won the King of the Ring, and that was literally advertised as a title shot. Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar, they were all pushed relatively quick to a championship. Super hard, pushed all in, and it worked out fine for them. So I'm okay with the push, but at the same time, the push doesn't really make sense. Like, Oba Femi should, like, just be challenging Roman Reigns right this second. And his matches need to go at least 8 to 16 minutes. That's it. That's all you got to do to fix Oba Femi. It's not that he's being pushed too hard. It's that he's being pushed really hard, but they're trying to draw something out to WrestleMania, and they don't really let him wrestle, and they don't have any storylines for him. So then it seems like he only has nowhere to go but down, but if creative actually sat down and wrote something, then, well, he'd go up. Derek Magnum, they're treating Dom like he's a mid-carder when he could be a top superstar. I wouldn't even mind if they treated him like a top mid-card, because, like, this dude is jobbing left and right, and what's insane is he's a top promotions top champion, and that top promotion is owned by WWE, and they're actively trying to get people to watch it. Why would I even care about AAA if I'm seeing their champion literally jobbing out to Finn Balor, Oba Femi, Danhausen, Dragon Lee, all basically in a row? Dominic Mysterio, I believe, has only won one match on WWE TV this entire year. I think it's only been the qualifying match, which was a fatal 4-way into the King of the Ring. Remember that he beat Braun Breaker at WrestleMania 41 and the cheers he got? Like, what happened? What happened to that? He was John Cena's last real feud, and that's been squandered, so, I wish he was treated like a top mid-card guy at this point. Faza Rip says Dominic is 100% being punished for that tweet. He won't be fired due to his last name, but he's gonna get booked like a dork for a while, unfortunately. He basically did a tweet that was like, I don't like that I'm portrayed 2 different ways. In AAA, I'm a top champion, but in WWE, I'm a jobber. I wish we just treated my character the same throughout. And I agree with that. And you're right. I bet he is getting punished by that. Triple H saying, you have thoughts? I'm the only one that's allowed to think. Shovel. Alfonso Passion says, why are champions getting pinned? Just take the belt off him. I would have rathered that match been for the title and then just crown Dragon Lee the champion. I just don't like champions getting pinned, especially if there's no point. There was no point to that. Just, if he's that much of a jobber and you have that much faith in Dragon Lee, then just give the belt to Dragon Lee. TTJC says, I hate Dom's booking. Yeah, you and me both. The Wrestle Don says, Dominic has been pinned by Oba, Danhausen, Dragon Lee in the past 2 months. I actually read your hot take yesterday, and that's the premise of yesterday's video. I didn't credit you yesterday, so I'm crediting you now. Mr. Brownie God says, I'm paraphrasing here, but basically he says he feels like they're pushing Big Cass to the moon and pushing Javon down the card because he's young. And you might be right. You honestly might be right, and I hate that excuse. I hate, he's young, he has time. No. If you have a connection with the crowd, then let's go all in. And Javon definitely had a connection. I just no longer buy the excuse of he has his whole career ahead of him. I don't want to wait 20 years so he can finally enter in the main event scene. Teddy Boy Ward says, pew! My response is, pew pew. Killer Wolf says, Braun looks like he's about to leave the Vision sooner rather than later. If so, could he team up with Heyman again, but they do it properly this time? Dear God, please get him out of the Vision. I know there's a Judgment Day vortex, a Bloodline vortex, but the Vision is like the Bermuda Triangle. Get the dude out of there. Get him out. And is it just me, or as a kid, you thought that I don't know, you grow up to be an adult and you're like, why aren't ships disappearing in the Bermuda Triangle anymore? I thought the Bermuda Triangle was a bigger deal as a child. Callie Scott says, I love Stephanie in the ring, but I really don't connect with her and really understand her character. Yeah, I'm the same way. I just don't connect with her. She's amazing talent, that's for sure. She loves wrestling because when I see her do interviews on Chris Van Vliet or somewhere else, I'm like, I like that, Stephanie. But once she gets in the ring and she just does this, and then she has the most monotone delivery no matter what, I'm like, who is this person? Why should I care about this person? And it's just it sucks. I recognize the talent, but she really has no character. Why does she even have horns on her head? I don't see what others see in her, and I wish I did. Carmichael says the Vision will go down as one of the worst factions of all time, and at the lowest point in Braun Breaker's career. The Vision has sucked the hype out of him, and he needs to break away ASAP. Braun Breaker should have murdered Adam Pearce. I remember Adam Pearce just yelling in his face and him doing nothing about it. I remember him holding the World Championship title and then just giving it back to Adam Pearce. I remember him getting kicked out of a #1 contenders battle royal and him getting mad at Paul saying, I had the belt, we were in the battle royal, and now we're out, and Paul just saying, you got a lot to learn. And then Braun be like, yeah, I do got a lot to learn. Yeah, this faction, to me, was designed to get Braun Breaker into the main event, and it did the exact opposite. The fourth most important person in his faction. Maxine Dupree is more important than Braun Breaker right now in his own faction. That is insane. It will definitely be one of the worst factions of all time. Without a doubt. And that's not even including injuries, but those didn't help. When he speared Seth Rollins, I don't feel he should have gone babyface, but I do feel that he should have been all in as the next big thing. And nope. And those are your hot takes, boys and girls. See ya, bye.